Today's video, I'm going to do math. Dum, dum, dum. I know, don't run away, okay? It's not scary at all. Don't worry, I'm with you. I don't like math at all. I love money, but I don't like math. Math is in every part of life, so we can't run away from it, can we? What do we do then? We adjust. Is all about budgeting. Yes, finance and money is one of my favorite topics. So I was thinking, how can I bring this area that I'm so interested in into food? And I have just the right video for you watching. So if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and become part of the family. I realized that most of the content on this particular topic is geared towards a different demographic or a different country or how their systems work. So I was like, why don't I take this content, which is very, very important, and bring it to my setting, bring it to my environment or my area where people will be able to relate with it. Food is one thing that really consumes our money. Even though we don't really pay attention, we don't really notice it. Food is something that you have to eat every single day, and you have to also know where your money is going when it comes to food. So the first thing I do is to take inventory of the stuff that I already have. That's my first step. Okay, so you know that these are the things, or these are the foods you are going to make in the month or in the week. You don't just go to the market and go start buying stuff for the food. You take inventory, you look at what you had from the previous week, previous month. Then you know I have pepper there, I have tomatoes, I have rice, so I don't need to buy that this month. Okay, this is going to guide you on how much money you need to put aside for these foods for the week or for the month. After deciding or taking inventory of what I have and then deciding what I want to have this month, let's say we are entering into September. So September, this is what I would want to eat in September. I'm going to eat rice, I'm going to eat spaghetti, I'm going to eat banku. Okay, so what am I going to eat that with? I'm going to make vegetable stew, I'm going to make palava sauce, I'm going to make tomato stew, I'm going to make okra stew for the banku. Okay, so these are the things that I would want. So that is what I know I will eat. So that's the meal plan. This is the meals I want to eat for the month. Okay, and trust me, it can change, but then you know that these are consistent. Whether you decide to eat something else, decide to eat out, you know there's always food in the fridge or there's always food at home because you have catered for that. So whether you're broke or you don't have money for the week or for the month, your salary is finished, you know there's always food. You're not going to go hungry. That's the important part of having a food budget or a meal plan. What I'm going to do is create a shopping list for our meal plan. So as you can remember, I said that I wanted to make palava sauce, I wanted to make vegetable stew, I wanted to make tomato stew, and I wanted to make okra soup. So these are the things I want to make, and I'm going to take them with rice, with fried plantain, with spaghetti, and with banku. So what are the individual elements that I can take out of these foods to make a shopping list? Okay, so that's what I'm going to shop for. So you don't go to the market and just be buying stuff from just because they are cheap or just because you think you crave for it, just picking it from the shelves or be buying it from the supermarket. No, if it's okra, you know you need okra, you need meat, you need kahuro, you need all those things. So that's what, based on the meal plan you made for the week or for the month, that's where you're going to make your individual grocery list from. One other thing, there are some things that you need to have at home no matter what. Breakfast sets. Okay, the Milo, the sugar, the milk, the biscuits, those things are essential. It doesn't matter if you stay alone, if you stay with your parents, if you're a student, you will never know when you'll be hungry in the middle of the night. That's supposed to be part of your shopping list or your grocery list. So once you have, and mind you have taken inventory of the things you have already. So if you have salt, you don't need to buy salt again. If you have pepper, enough for the month or enough for the week, you don't need to buy them again. That's why taking inventory is so important. Now you know the shopping list that you're supposed to have. Okay, so now you know that, okay, if I go by this meal plan, even though it can change, if I set aside 300 cedis every month, it's going to be okay for me to survive the month, even if I run broke in the middle of the month or even if I lose money or something. So now you know that every time your salary comes in or every time you get money, I setting aside 100 cedis or 200 cedis or 300 cedis for your meal plan. Have your shopping list. You set aside some money to be used for this shopping list or for this meal plan. The next thing is actually going to the market. For me, I always want to save money. Okay, so one thing that I do is that I usually want to go to the market myself. So buying things from what do you call it, small shops around, it's convenient sometimes, but it's not the best when it comes to economically managing your money, because those people, they go and buy from the markets, they always add their profits. I'm not trying to spoil anybody's business, but this is how I do mine. So even at home time, me and my mom, when the month it's a new month, we just go to the market, we purchase things in bets based on what we want to make. So you go to the market, let's say Bantima Market, Kejita Market, or you go to Atasmasu Market where I stay. You can go to the big market, Makola Market. Those places, things are very, very cheap there. I'm not saying buy cheap stuff, but then, you know, comparing it to that small shop in front of your house, you're going to get things a little bit expensive, and you're going to even get it in bulk when you go to the bigger market. And because I'm using it for a relatively longer time, it will be best. I would advise that you go to the market yourself. So what you do is you go to the market and you buy these things. So you have your food budget. Let's say this is the food budget. You have it. So food item. This is a sample that I use. I haven't filled it out yet. So my food budgeting. So you have food item, quantity and amount. So let's say you're going to buy 2 bags of rice. So the food item is rice. The quantity is 2. The amount is 60 cedis. Okay. After you filled everything, so tomatoes, pepper, onion, meat, whatever. After you filled everything and you've budgeted everything, you've calculated it, you have the total. So if you are going to the market, you know how much you are going to spend. They used to say that if you go to the market with paper in your hands, it means you're not smart. You can't keep things in your head. Have you ever heard the saying that the faintest pen is better than the sharpest brain? It's a quote somewhere. Don't let anybody intimidate you. If you have to write it down so that you know that when I go, these are the things I'm buying, you don't get confused and nobody tries to intimidate you to buy anything that you don't need. It's buying only the essentials. So it's almost the same as going to the market. You already have your list, so you're only going to buy the essentials. And you can buy a few things to spice it up, but make sure that your budget is going more into the things that you need for the month, so that you don't end up buying things you don't need and then you run out of food. Last thing we're going to talk about is storing food items. Okay, this is very important. I'm going to do a thorough video on how I store my food items so they last longer, but I'm going to just give you a tip of that. So you see, it's a weekly or a monthly plan, and some of the food items, if you don't store it well, or if you don't store it well, they're going to get spoiled. I'm going to end up losing money or wasting money on them, like something like ripe plantain. Okay, if you don't have the right ways of storing them, just buy them in bits. So you can make a bigger plan of food budget for a month, but you can break them into weeks, so that this week, if the money is 400 cedis, every week you're going to spend 100 cedis on food. Every month you want to eat out 5 times. You want to take your girlfriend out, you want to take your boyfriend out, you want to give a surprise party to your mom. Okay, just budget it out. When I say budget, I know a lot of people see it as something very complex. No, just sometimes just having a small notepad where you write, okay, 100 cedis for a surprise birthday cake for my mom, 200 cedis for eating out with my girlfriend. That's budget. Use this idea or getting a hang of it is going to save you a lot when you are going older and taking on bigger responsibilities like being a husband or being a mom or starting a family. Okay, because even when you are single and you didn't have any responsibilities, you're able to budget for your food. So now that you are growing up and you're married, something that you can introduce to your husband or your wife, and it's going to save you guys a whole lot of problems. Imagine running out of money. Let's say your salary for the month, you chopped everything by the 15th of the month, and you don't have anywhere to turn to for money, and you also don't have food in the house. It's going to be very stressful. Okay, so even when you are broke and you know you have food in the house, hallelujah to God, you know that at least you're not going to sleep hungry or on an empty stomach all the time till the next salary comes in, or till you get a side gig or something else to do. You know, there's always food for you to eat at home. So I created a sample food budget for the month of September for the benefits of this class or this video. So as you can see, I have my meal plan over there. That is the projected food I'm going to be eating in the month of September. After that, I created a grocery list or shopping list from the foods that I'm going to be eating. As you can see, rice, spaghetti, plantain. So you can do the same for yours. The final step is to create a budget based on the money you're setting aside for the month. So
So as you can see in mine, I set aside 300 Ghana cedis, and then everything that, or the budget I'm making, is geared towards that 300 Ghana cedis so that I don't overspend.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and become part of the family. Don't forget to like, comment. I want to see your comments in the comment section below. Just leave a comment. What do you think about this? Do you think it's a good thing to practice? Let me hear from you.